Hello friends, I am Welshie and welcome to Theory Pop. The third season of The Dragon Prince is about to drop on Netflix and I am very excited to see what's in store for the world of Xadia. To prepare for this culmination of the current story arc, I've been watching the first 2 seasons again, and of course I ended up with a new question that needs answering. As always, before we get into the theory, beware of spoilers for The Dragon Prince Season 1 and 2. Towards the end of the first season, Callum, Rayla, Ezran and the Unhatched Egg search for a miracle healer on the cursed caldera. As the group gets closer to the top of the mountain, they encounter strange visions and monstrous spider creatures. Ezran figures out the spiders aren't real, and once they reach the top, the apparitions are revealed to be the work of the moon mage Lujanne, an illusionist. She had been creating terrifying illusions to keep humans away from the caldera. The opening episodes of the second season expands on this further. Lujanne reveals that she is the latest guardian of the Moon Nexus, a place of power where the moon primal source is particularly strong. Before Xadia was divided, the ancestors of the Moonshadow Elves performed powerful rituals at the Moonhenge, a place where they were able to tear the veil between life and death. When the land was split, the Nexus fell on the human side of the border, so the Moonhenge was destroyed in order to prevent it from falling into the hands of humans, and a guardian was appointed to protect the site. As interesting as it was to hear this lore in the show, it doesn't quite add up. Humans are incapable of using primal magic, at least according to Lujanne. They lack any connection to a primal source, and instead rely on forcibly extracting it from other creatures as components for dark magic. If humans can't use primal magic, why does the Moon Nexus need protecting? First, there are creatures that draw power from the Nexus. Lujanne's phoenix Fifi is stated as being at her strongest when she is close to the Nexus. As we see when the group escape Claudia and Soren, the further Fifi gets from the ritual site, the weaker she becomes, eventually being unable to carry the group any further. It stands to reason that there would be other lunar-aligned creatures that are at their strongest when in close proximity to the Moon Nexus. If humans were to find and have access to the Nexus, they would hunt the magically charged creatures that lived there for spell components. Second, the statement that humans can't do primal magic isn't quite accurate. Yes, we know Callum can connect to the Sky Arcanum, but he's something of an outlier, an anomaly that so far has proven to be an exception to the in-universe fact that humans can't connect to a primal source. I actually covered Callum's primal connection in a separate video, which you can check out using this card above. So let's set the prince aside for the moment and examine the statement that humans can't do magic. It is true that humans don't have an inherent connection to any of the primal sources, in contrast to the elves who are born with that primal source inside them. Elves can use their connection to an arcanum to either cast spells, as Lujanne does, or enhance their physical abilities, as seen with the Moonshadow Elves and the Sunfire Elf Janai. But humans are capable of using magic when they have access to a powerful enough source, such as a Primal Stone. Viren used a Primal Stone when confronting the Dragon King Thunder, and Callum has used one multiple times, despite having no prior magical training. The stone they used contained an entire storm, a powerful source of the Sky Arcanum that allowed Callum and Viren to use sky-based magic. If humans can use Primal Stones, which are a concentrated source of magic, in order to cast spells, then it is entirely possible that they could do the same at a location where a primal source is particularly strong, a place like the Moon Nexus. It's unlikely that a human mage would be able to use the magic of the Moon Nexus on just any night, but when the moon is full and the primal source is at its peak, concentrated and amplified at the Nexus, the site could act as one giant primal stone, allowing the human mage to use it in the same way as the more mobile artifact. If the magic were only confined to the Nexus, that would mitigate the risk somewhat. After all, it's not like someone could pick up the entire caldera and carry it around with them. But it is easy to carry an amulet around. We already know that illusions can be permanently connected to a physical item. Lujanne gave Ellis and Ava a small pendant that appeared to heal the wounded wolf's leg, but was in fact an illusory charm that made it appear as though Ava's leg was not missing. If humans had access to the Nexus, they could potentially create their own illusory amulets that would grant permanent, or at least extended, magical illusions of their own. There is no guarantee that, if humans were to find the Nexus, they would be able to harness the magical energy there. That was a risk that the ancient elves considered, leading them to destroy the Moonhenge and leave a guardian to ensure the site would never be disturbed by a human presence. And we all know how effective that turned out to be. But what do you folks think? Why did the elves destroy the Moonhenge if humans can't use Primal Magic? Do you think humans could actually use the Nexus like a giant Primal Stone if they found it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you'd like to see more Dragon Prince theories, check out the playlist on the left. Click my face to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.